everyone, and welcome back to the vlog. This video will be fully vlog style. Unlike my last In Good Taste video, I'm gonna probably do a mixture of both. So some of them will be a little bit more relaxed like this, and others will be where I'm like sitting positioned talking to you guys. And I really liked that last one, but I am getting DMs saying like, I miss the old vlogs, like can you do them like before? So I'm going to do both. So this one though is going to be a pretty relaxed one. As you can just see, I just went to Trader Joe's. I'm gonna show you a little haul of what I got. And then in the typical In Good Taste style where I would show one meal, one outfit, one something that I'm up to, I'm going to share, well, the outfit is gonna be a little tricky. I wanted to show you guys what I'm gonna wear on Thanksgiving. And when I was planning my videos, I thought, oh, okay, I'll just show them that. But in our family, like we go very relaxed at Thanksgiving. And I have this new sweater that I was planning on wearing while like we cooked and got ready and did all that. But like, I'm not wearing like a beautiful dress or anything like that. It's gonna be a sweater and probably some like cozy leggings or just something so that when I'm ready to eat, I can be my most comfortable self. I can show you guys that tomorrow. It's not much to see, but I'll show you that. Then the one meal is a cranberry sauce that I'm going to attempt because we are an Ocean Spray jellied in the can kind of family. I don't know if you guys are, let me know in the comments, but I found these really pretty molds and I think it would just be so beautiful. In fact, I'm gonna show you, hold on. Tell me what you guys think, but I think everyone having their own individual cranberry sauce mold like at their place. Could you imagine how special it would feel that someone like made everybody an individual cranberry sauce mold to sit at their seat? So I'm gonna attempt to do that. I'm hoping that it tastes just like the Ocean Spray kind. If nothing else, it'll at least look pretty and we will just have the Ocean Spray can on deck and ready for us just in case. But I do want to try that because I think it would look so pretty. And I saw this picture on Pinterest like 2 years ago. I'll put it right here if I can find it again. And I thought, wow, that looks so pretty. And it's just a way to like elevate what you're doing. Speaking of, I am going to be making a video that is like Thanksgiving prep. Somebody DM'd me and asked me if I'll share like what we're making and like recipes and all that. And the answer is yes. I think I've done this video or like a similar one where I like Thanksgiving prepped couple years ago, and a lot of you guys said that it was helpful, so I'll do it again. And in that video, like I'll show you all of my prep, so like polishing my silver and setting what my table settings are going to look like for the adults and for the kids table, and we'll just kind of work through that together. But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna try to make that cranberry sauce together. And then the final thing that I want to share is another way to just elevate your Thanksgiving table, and that is by hand calligraphing the place cards with everyone's name on them. And I have a calligraphy set. I don't know if I'm at the place yet where I need to be hand doing anything, but I'm gonna try because I feel like it's so special. And if worst comes to worst, we will try to do it with my Cricut because I do think that it just adds just a little bit more sophistication to your table. And yeah, so I think that that would be nice and maybe give somebody some more inspiration for what they want to do on their Thanksgiving table. And then next week you can see me get them into situ when I show you guys the table. But anyway, I think we can start off this video with a quick haul of what I got at Trader Joe's. I got these goat cheese and caramelized onion ravioli. These look so delicious. I can't wait to make these, and I'll probably just add some chicken to go along with it. We love dumplings, so I grabbed some chicken soup dumplings and some pork and ginger soup dumplings. And then I got these for Margot and Sebastian. She loves macarons, and so they're just chocolate and vanilla. I got a quiche Lorraine, and then I got this beef bulgogi that we can make little bowls with. I got this spicy and sweet creamy pepper dip. Looks really good. The viral cornbread crisps. My friend opened her bag in the car and we ate them, and they're delicious. She loves them, and I'm so glad she introduced me to them. I grabbed this fruit and vegetable wash because we needed a new one, and it was just sitting right there, so I figured why not. I got the kids these 2 little advent calendars. I think there's like just little chocolates in there. It'll be really fun for them. Got the good old cookie butter. You guys introduced me to this a few years ago, and our Publix doesn't sell this brand. Obviously this is a Trader Joe's one, but they do sell like the Lotus Biscoff ones, and it tastes the same, so that's what we usually buy. But I wanted to get them the regular original. Got my favorite chili onion crunch. I got this because it looked so delicious, the cinnamon spread. The kids I think will really enjoy this on toast. And then I grabbed this hot and sweet pepper jelly, and I think I'm going to use this as a little appetizer on Thanksgiving if we can make it that far without opening it. I have some ideas for this, and maybe I'll talk about that more in my Thanksgiving meal planning video. Then I grabbed these because I think the kids would like them too. It's just like a little cookie brownie dessert. And last, I grabbed some Amaryllis and some Paperwhites, and they'll be in bloom just in time for Christmas, and that just, oh, I'm so happy. These are gonna be super cute. I do need to find some pots to put them in, but yeah, I'm so excited. Excuse my face if I have food on it. I just finished eating some of the soup dumplings. So good. I don't know why I don't go to Trader Joe's more often. But I thought really quickly, what time is it? 1:03. Don't have school pickup for a while. But I thought maybe we could work on trying to pot these Amaryllis and Paperwhites. So I initially grabbed these tiny little pots that I have from previous flower arrangements, and I saved them because they look nice around the house. And I was thinking that I would put the Amaryllis in here, but I can't. They've placed it on a tree bark round. It seems like it's glued on there pretty tight, and I don't want to damage it trying to rip it off. So whatever I end up putting this in, this is gonna have to fit as well. So consequently, we can't use this little one. The cool thing about this though is that the directions say that I don't need to water it. It says it stores all of its water it needs at this point since it's already started to sprout in its base. So I just need to like pot it really nicely. So since the little ones won't work, I thought about maybe this bigger one. I actually have one with moss balls in it on my shelf in the living room behind my Christmas tree that you can't see. Also, that just reminded me, somebody asked if I'm gonna show my Christmas decor. I will, but I'll probably wait till December to do that. But anyway, I was thinking maybe this could sit down in here like so. And it almost seems a little too deep, but if the bloom is starting from here and that's above the rim, I figured that might not be so bad. And then I'll overlay moss over it. So all we're really gonna see is what you can see from here. And I thought that maybe that would look nice. I don't know, you'll have to let me know in the comments. Okay, hi, so this is future Krista from about a week and a half after I posted the very last clip you just watched where I asked for you to tell me what you think. After I finished filming, I didn't really like the big stone pot that it was in. It was just too big. So I found this little one from a previous floral arrangement, added some moss. It's just sitting right down in there in the little plinth that it's in. I did add some foam around it for the moss to sit on, as you can see. And this is how it's been since I brought it home. Like I told you, I don't have to water it, and you can already see how much it's grown since that previous clip just now. And I just thought I would show this to you because it turned out so much cuter than I thought it would. And yeah, I don't have to do much to it. I've had it just sitting here on my coffee table so that it can get sunlight from the window. And yeah, she's looking really good. So here is the little Paperwhite, which you just saw. And I have this bowl that I have not been using lately except for just decor. And I thought maybe I could sit it in here. I think the Amaryllis would have looked so much prettier in a blue and white bowl because, and you'll see at some point, my house is traditional Christmas with the reds and the greens, but there is a lot of blue and white all over my house. And it looks so nice. I consider blue and white a neutral, and I would have thought that the red Amaryllis blooms would have looked really pretty in here, but it's just not the way the cookie crumbled. But I do think that having the green and then the white bloom of the Paperwhites in this bowl can be just as nice. It initially came planted in this wooden one, but when you look down inside of it, there is a black planter. Let's see if I can get it out. Yeah. And this is good because I'll be able to water it. And I thought maybe it can sit in here like so. And when I water it, I'll just pull the whole thing out so that it can drain properly. I think I like the look of this. I do want to get a little bit more moss just to bring it to the edges. And then I was thinking I would sit it on my coffee table. So I'll come show you that now and you can kind of get an idea of my vision. So right now, this is what's on my coffee table. And this is what it's basically been for the last few months, minus this book here. There was a more seasonally appropriate book earlier in this year. These are some Martha Stewart books. So the classic crafts and recipes for the holiday, and then the Martha Stewart holidays, recipes, gifts, decorations for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I just love thumbing through these when I'm sitting here on the couch with the kids, or I leave them there also for my guests to look through when they come over. And then on here also sits our little tissue box cover. And a really cool thing about Brandon and I is our married monogram is actually my full name initials. So everything looks like it's mine, but it's Krista Brandon Ruth or Krista Bowman Ruth. Really cool. Anyway, back to what we're doing. I'm gonna replace this, which just has faux hydrangeas in it, now that my beautiful limelights are all dead for the season, and this silver champagne bucket. Absolutely love this bucket. This will be getting polished in another video later, but I think that I'm going to replace this with the Paperwhites. So it will end up looking more like this. Hopefully this bowl, okay, it will fit. That's great. That is so good. Now, of course, it's looking a little, you know, bare because I do need to fill this blank space in with some more moss, but I think overall I do like the look of it. I wish I had a little bit of a smaller pot, and I'm not really interested in going to look for one. This one will work fine. And then as you can see here, I just keep a couple coasters. Got these in an antique store. I have them around my house. They're super cute. And then this is also a crystal dish that I got from an antique store. And I typically keep chocolate in it, but as you can see, my kids have emptied it out, as well as Brandon. It did have a ton of Ferrero Rocher in it. And then I think before that I had like the Lindt squares, but yeah, they ate them all. But I think I can put some of these in there. Brandon just came back from Germany and he came back with like a ton of chocolate, and they're pre-wrapped, which would be good for the coffee table because all of the other things came in boxes and there's no wrapping around the chocolate. So yeah, we can refill this really quick as well. But anyway, that was easy. Just put these in here. I am not a candy eater, but my sister and Brandon and the kids love it, so I try to always keep this full, and I think it's a nice touch around the holidays. You could always put like those soft peppermints in here, little caramel chews, really whatever you want, and just make this like a little treat bucket, if you will. I also do something similar to that over there. We call it the celebration tray. I'll show it to you. And right now it is set for Christmas, but I have not filled any of this stuff in there yet. This is a chocolate lobster. Don't ask, I don't know. But I am going to set this all nice up for Christmas in the coming weeks. But like I said, I'm really just trying to get through Thanksgiving before I go like full Christmas, even though the house is fully decorated. All right, so it is several days later and a few things have changed. I'm not exactly sure what I said the other day about not showing you my outfit for Thanksgiving, because my plan was to just wear like a burgundy knit turtleneck top that's kind of long and then just wear some leggings underneath it. However, I was on the Walmart website because I'm too afraid to go into the store, and I needed something for my kitchen for next week, which is Thanksgiving. And while I was on there getting that, I thought, well, let me just see what they have in the way of lounge, and I came across this set. So I'm excited to show it to you just in case you're like us and you like to just keep it super casual. I do like the idea of dressing up for Thanksgiving, but we just aren't that family. We like to keep it casual because we're the adults now, and it's usually just me, my husband, my sister, and my kids, and it feels just much more comfortable since we're doing all the cooking. I want to share this, like I said, because if you're like us and you need a quick something, Walmart has this really cute black set, and it looks sort of like the one that Spanx did, but for way less. So I think Spanx is like 120 for the top and another 100 and something for the bottom. Whereas this outfit, I got it on sale. I think it was $40 and I ended up paying like $32, $34, something like that. So there's that. Now, granted, Spanx is probably like 100% cotton. This feels more like a jersey material, but let's be real, it's probably polyester. I don't know. I personally try to stay away from polyester if I'm wearing something nice or something that I want to last, but this is like cozy for Thanksgiving. You can wear this to the car line pickup, and yeah, I have zero complaints. So I'm gonna step back and show you guys. I put some socks on just for everyone's comfort. No one wants to see anyone's feet on the internet. It's really cute, just a black set. It has this really big collar that goes all the way around. And then there's this zipper, which, let's see, it will go to here, and then you can zip it all the way down if you like to show that much skin. I personally don't, so we'll probably keep it, let's see, like right about there. A necklace would be nice here. And then something that I really like, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a seam that runs all the way down the leg, and it just gives it a little bit more detail. Sorry for this camera angle, it's not professional at all. I also like that there's a seam here because when I'm in the kitchen and I want to pull up my sleeves, they stay. And then the pants, they have an elastic waistband, and then on the inside, there's a drawstring, which I really appreciate because I cannot stand drawstrings showing on pants. It doesn't look nice. It looks a little too casual, but when the drawstring is hidden like this, you can just tighten your pants up the way you need to and then put it away. I would buy it in another color. They had it in navy, but they didn't have my size. This is a medium that I'm wearing, and I'm 5'5", and the pants, I have them pulled up over my belly button, but they skim the top of the floor. The size, I would say, is true to size. They don't feel too big or too small, and they do have other colors. Like I said, it's just, I think people are snapping these up, and so the colors are, so the options for colors are getting smaller. But anyway, I thought I would just share this. I have zero complaints, and it'll be perfect for bopping around and cooking on Thanksgiving. I'll link it below if you're interested. And yeah, just thought I'd throw that in there, even though I was not planning on sharing an outfit today. All right, we're in the kitchen. I'm so excited because we are getting ready to make jellied cranberry sauce. This is not something I've ever done before, and it may not go well, but this isn't about perfection. It's about trying something new and potentially starting a new tradition for my family, and maybe yours too if you like what you see. So the first thing you're gonna need is a bag of cranberries. For this demonstration, I'm going to cut the recipe in half because I don't need a ton of jellied cranberry that I can't do anything with a week before Thanksgiving. So this is a test. If this doesn't work out, we're gonna go get the canned cranberry like we always eat, but we're just gonna do one bag today, and everything that I would probably do for next week, I'll just double. So the only thing I've done so far off camera was wash my cranberries. I used the new spray that I picked up from Trader Joe's. It smells like vinegar when you spray it on, so I feel like it's pretty clean. And the next thing I'm gonna do is just quickly pick through this bowl and take out any of the cranberries that just don't look the best, or maybe that are a little different. Like this one, for instance, it's a little wrinkly, it's not the best in color, and we want that really rich color to come through. And so I'm gonna take out the ones that look like that or that have a little damage on them, and then we'll go and get it on the stove. Now that we're over at the stove, we're gonna pour our cranberries into the pot, and we're going to add in a half a cup of apple juice. Again, I did half the recipe. I'm gonna turn the stove on to medium-high heat. Just gonna give it a quick little stir to make sure that the cranberries are down in that juice. And then we're gonna leave it like this until we get to a boil. Then we'll reduce the heat a little bit. I can hear the cranberries bursting, which is really fun. I'm just loving this right now. Experimenting, trying to figure out what will and what won't work for my family. This brings me so much joy. Definitely encourage you to try it. Listen to this sound, it's so good. Hear that? Those berries popping. All right, as you can see, we're down on medium heat and just waiting for these cranberries to continue to cook down. Probably gonna leave it in here for another 6 minutes or so. And then we will puree and strain. So the next step is to put your cranberries through a mill so you can separate the seeds and the skin. However, I don't have a mill. So I'm going to put my cranberries into my NutriBullet and blend them down, and then I'm going to pop them through a mesh sieve, and that will get rid of everything that the mill would have gotten rid of. This part might get really messy, so I'm putting on Margot's apron because I got rid of all of mine and I need to go get some more, especially before next week. But I do not want to get any of that red cranberry on this sweater. So we have this. Looking great. While you're straining, you want to make sure that you're just stirring it through. I'm going to lift the strainer in just a second, but you don't want to force it through the holes because you might force through some extra pulp. So you just want to kind of stir it through, and eventually it will all go down into the pot. Like I said, I'm going to lift it in just a second. This is just an up close angle of what I'm doing. Just stir it in until it all goes through. Okay, so as you can see, I've returned my saucepan back to the stove and have it set on medium heat, and I'm going to pour in a cup of sugar, and I'm going to keep stirring that until it boils. And you're going to want to stir this until all the sugar completely dissolves so that none of it is grainy. And I'm going to try to pull down some of this off the sides as well. Make sure that you're doing this in a clean pot. So I did give mine a quick clean before I strained into it. in the previous step. I'm just gonna keep stirring this until all that sugar is dissolved and it looks glossy. As you can see, it is starting to boil, but we're gonna let it go a little bit longer. Okay, so I've removed it from the heat and I'm adding in the pectin. This is 1 tablespoon, and then I'm gonna add a half. We're gonna let that come to a boil. Popping into voiceover because the stove fan got really loud, but you wanna make sure that you let that pectin boil really hard for 1 minute before you remove it from the heat. You want it so hot that even stirring it won't stop it from boiling. I'm just gonna spray the molds with some cooking spray. We have avocado oil here, it's the only spray we have. And we have our boiling cranberry sauce. Give it one little last stir and then let it cool for just a few minutes. All right, and I will show you what this looks like after it has set overnight. All right, you guys, here they are. They are out of the molds and they look so good. This one turned out a little bit better than this one, but I think it was just the shape of the mold. Okay, so I ended up moving one to the little saucers that we would use on Thanksgiving. This is just my kitchen breakfast table, so this is not the official Thanksgiving table, but this is the plate that it would be on if I do end up making these on Thanksgiving. And I think it is so cute. It tastes just like Ocean Spray. Well, I'd say similar, very, very similar to Ocean Spray. Obviously, we don't know their formula, but it would be worth doing it if you like a little extra touch. I would need to make at least 5, so we'll see, but it's so cute and I'm so glad that I attempted it and the mold ended up holding up great. But yeah, definitely worth it if having a little something special and extra on your Thanksgiving table is what you're into. Okay, as you can obviously see, we are in my dining room, and that is because I'm about to calligraphy the place cards for the formal Thanksgiving table, which you will see in another video. But before we really get into this and what I'm actually gonna do, I wanna show you something really cool that one of my subscribers sent me. It's called Write What You're Thinking, and it's obviously like more catered toward little boys with the sports, but in it says write your thoughts, open your mind, and then on this side it says time to express yourself, and it's just empty pages for them to write what they're thinking and get their thoughts out. And somebody like Sebastian, my son, if you're new, would love something like this, so I can't wait to show it to him. I've been waiting to give it to him, and I think having a place for him to just get out a lot of the stuff that he's thinking, he's constantly thinking and creating in his mind, I think would be something nice for him. And then for Margot, she's still a little young for this, but this is my very first diary, and the pages in here say believe in yourself, dear diary, and it has like draw how you feel and a lot of dear diary pages and the date on them. And that goes throughout the whole book. And this one is a little more colorful and girly. And so once she's a little bit more proficient in writing her sentences, I will pass this along to her. But I wanted to share those with you if that is something you're maybe looking to gift someone. The creator's name is Marilyn, and I will link her info below. She also says that she sells journals and grief journals as well. So I will link her information down below if you're interested in purchasing one of those books. And thank you, Maryland. I truly appreciate it, and my kids are gonna love them. So last year I got it in my mind that I wanted to learn calligraphy, and I have a full set of calligraphy pens and ink here that I practice with. I also have this book, Modern Calligraphy, and I have this one called Pretty Simple Hand Lettering. And I practice in those for fun. You might have seen me do it a few times throughout the year on my Instagram story. And I have decent cursive. It's legible, but I'm not someone who uses it on a daily basis, although I really wish I was. I really, really, really wish that I was somebody who used their cursive every day. I might, for 2026, purpose to only write in cursive to train myself, and I really want to do that as an example to my kids. But anyway, before I turned the camera on, I started practicing trying to do some calligraphy with the names, and I realized doing it the way that the book is teaching is not something that is going to work for me. I don't have the time, the patience, or quite frankly want to put that sort of effort on place cards just yet because it's not effortless. So I decided that I'm just going to write in my normal cursive and then try to make it look a little prettier. So that's what we're gonna do right now. And I practiced several You can see front and back, but several of how I would like to do my name. And so this one is what we're aiming for me. And this one is what we're aiming for my sister. It is just plain cursive. Place cards aren't necessary, but I just think it makes it a little bit more special and a little bit nicer. And why not, you know? So let's get started. If you would like to do this, but you don't have cardstock, you could use regular printer paper, put a hole punch through it and a little piece of ribbon and just lay it on top of the plate. Obviously you wouldn't fold it, but you would put a hole here, put some ribbon through it, put the name on here and just sit it on the plate. Okay, I wish there was a better way that I could show you this angle, but here goes nothing. Alright guys, it's a few days later and here's the final product. I'm getting ready to set my table, but wanted to show you guys real quick. It's not perfect, but they're beautiful and they will work just fine as I keep practicing my calligraphy. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!